Hey guys, how's it going? Today's Thursday. Sorry, wasn't able to get a video up. Life is pretty busy and semi hectic for me right now, and so I just wasn't able to prep one ahead of time. I do actually try to think through these things a little bit before I talk, and especially since we're talking about books of the Bible, getting that whole book, the kind of theme of it under the belt takes a little bit of work, and so anyhow, here we are, Thursday, and we are talking about 2 Timothy. We've been walking through Paul's letters now in the New Testament. We started walking through the beginning of the New Testament, and now we're continuing to do so into Paul's letters. We looked at 1 Timothy last time on Tuesday, 2 days ago, and in doing so, what we saw was that God in His Word speaks to the family of believers. We get books written to whole churches or regions of churches, Philippians, Colossians, Ephesians, that type of thing. And we also get books of the Bible written to individuals, Timothy, Titus, Philemon, things like that. And so we see that God speaks to families, to big peoples, to the people of the church. But God also cares individually about you and about me. And man, let me tell you, that's good news that when Andrew Bowman weeps, God hears the cries and is in love with the single individual heart of me, which is amazing. So let's keep walking into 2 Timothy. Paul writes back to his good friend, spiritual son, Timothy. He reminds Timothy of what's going on and what he sacrificed. Paul is in prison now. 2 Timothy is one of the last books Paul will write. He is quickly about to be beheaded for the gospel. And if you think that sounds bad, it is, but let's remember Paul gets beheaded. Most of the other people get crucified. Paul actually kind of gets the light out. But Paul knows something's coming, and he doesn't feel like he's going to make it out of this one. So he writes Timothy, reminding Timothy of what he was willing to sacrifice for the gospel, not in a woe is me type of moment, but in a, if I'm willing to do this, remember how good the gospel must be. And in so doing, he reminds Timothy that the gospel is self-sacrifice for the greatest good. It is Christ came, He died, He sacrificed so that He could pay for us. And then He said, they hated me, they're going to hate you. If you're going to follow me, take up your cross and follow me. And so Paul is reminding Timothy of what Jesus said and the idea that Jesus was showing in the Christian life is a life of sacrifice for the gospel. And so he uses three analogies for this. He uses the soldier, the athlete, and the farmer. The soldier, someone who's willing to give their life for something greater than themselves, realizing that in sacrificing his own life, he may be keeping free the lives of 10, hundreds, thousands of people, and is willing to make that sacrifice. Are you and I as Christians willing to make the sacrifice of everything for the greatest possible good, the declaration of the truth in the gospel? He uses the athlete of someone training his body to do so. This isn't something that we're going to just be called to in a moment, although maybe we do a little. But like an athlete preps and prepares to give it all in a race or in an athletic event, we too should be preparing to give it all. We should be in study of the scripture. We should be in prepping ourselves to love others well, because let's be honest, that's not easy. Guarding our hearts from criticisms and opening it up to love. And then the last analogy Paul uses is the farmer. And what Paul's saying in this analogy is the farmer goes and he does all that he can when he plants a seed. He pulls weeds, he digs in dirt. He does all that he can, but at the end of the day, you know who makes the seeds grow? God. The rain can come or it cannot come. The sun can shine or it might not shine. The temperature might be too hot or too cold, or it might be just right. But the work of the farmer is to do all that he can, but still God is the one that brings the results. In the declaration of the gospel to change hearts and lives, at the end of the day, the pressure's not on us. It falls completely on God. And that's good. And it takes a weight off of our shoulders that we were never meant to carry. Hope this is helpful. Love you guys. Read 2 Timothy.